the business failed, but if you walk out of the door, now you failed because I didn't back the business, I backed you.
Mm.
Now, if you're sitting alone and it's not working out, how do you separate and say, maybe it's the business that's failed and not me?
No, I never believe that.
Maybe it's me that's failed and
Even-
not the business.
You know, even now that he said that, I think because the business landed up not failing, because with the support.
Do you think that something changed in you as well?
Yeah. In that moment of coming to the point of I failed, and then pivoting your mindset and opening yourself to other people. It was the same business. The business didn't close down. You hear what I'm saying? That branch had failed. I had to change. There had to be a different. You had to move from on a different operating system. But I see now, and I've got a friend who's in a business now that is just not doing well. And every time I talk to him, we go, what's the path? But he cannot take himself on a new path.
Mm.
And so I don't foresee that business succeeding because he carries on the same thing. That ability to then, for you to change, for you to change your methodology, be vulnerable, listen, be humble with advice, but still because a lot of people will give you advice. If three people you meet, three people will give you three different pieces of advice. You have to take from those three people a piece of each that works for you, because the best person to synthesize their advice is you, not them. But be open to bringing in that information into your calculations and then move. And that is much harder. It's easy to say, but it's much harder to actually do because we have egos, and egos are actually the enemy of success, in my opinion.
And how does one separate from criticism versus advice? You know, sometimes some criticism comes in the form of advice, but when you listen to it, it's actually criticism and vice versa. Because I read somewhere, the guy wrote, "Do not take criticism from someone you do not take advice from." I thought, what exactly does that mean?
I think all feedback, positive or negative, criticism, positive, negative, is all feedback. It's for you to interpret, because a criticism can be a provocation to you to go, is that true? Right? It's not true. Okay, no, it's not true. So it's a criticism. You're lazy. Okay.
So you introspect after that.
You do the introspection. You go, is that true? Am I lazy? Yes, I am. Then it's positive, right? It worked. Or it's, I'm not lazy. I worked damn hard. Okay. Then I reject it. Or it's, okay, what I need to do about that. It's about how do I use that. Okay. Or it might be, why does he perceive it that way? Like, what am I doing for him to think that way? It's all the information which you use. If you just reject it, it's like, right? So it's not about the fact that you have to accept it, but you have to process it. And you can reject it after you process it, but it has to come in, process, and go out. It either changes you or it doesn't change you.
Why do I have a feeling that that boils down to, it's not even about the criticism or the advice or anything that happens to you that's external. It's mainly what your response is going to be or how you respond to that thing.
Yeah. And the response is the processing prior to that, because you have to, before you respond, react is no thinking, respond is the thinking. So you're right, 100%. It's about the response.
Okay. And then there's something that you said that was quite interesting. Maybe I want to know more about that. When you said people that have had father issues are prone to become successful. Well, obviously not all of them, but there seems to be a drive about those people, especially when they get into business. What's the psychological explanation of that? I just don't understand.
The theories. So I don't think anyone knows, but this is a theory. Okay. So in the animal kingdom, you've got the bull, okay? The alpha male. Then in all the young males will come and challenge the old male. He's physically stronger. He's more experienced. They come there, he bats them off. Okay. The next year, the same thing. The next year, the same thing. The next year, the same thing. Eventually, he gets older and he gets weaker. They become stronger and more experienced. And eventually, one of the bulls knocks the alpha male off the perch.
Sure.
Okay. And it is witnessed by the rest of the herd. All they see, okay, this dude took that dude out. Okay. And it's a witnessed environment. So his authority to be there is understood by everyone. He's proven himself. You saw that, right? He was there. I took him out. I'm the new alpha male. Okay. And this is not necessarily about males, but I'm speaking metaphorically.
Sure.
Right. When your father is not available to you emotionally or physically, death, divorce, or whatever the case may be, okay, then you have no place to prove. There's no proof. So you spend your life trying to prove your reason for being there. And I can tell you this right now, and you can tell it to me, and we can understand it. It's ingrained in you. It won't change you. It will not change you. The fact that you now understand a theory on that psychology is not going to change you. You still have got this deep in your DNA need to prove. That is a driver of, no, that's a negative psychological driver. Okay. And that drives you. And it tends to drive you far more at a deep psychological level than anything else, because you keep needing to prove yourself.
Yeah.
At some deep level. So do I.
That's quite interesting, because
is it true for you?
For me, yes. Because even when I went through my divorce, I said to my now ex-wife that you can take anything you want to take, but you're not taking my daughter.
Yeah.
Because there, I feel like I need to prove to myself that I can raise an intelligent, strong girl that's going to do well one day.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have that. I didn't have a father that does that.